Audio is good. I think for the most part, we are all set when it comes to audio. So if you have questions on that, I'm just going to include instructions about connecting to audio in the chat for you guys. So there are a couple of things that we're going to jump into, or we're going to outline before we actually jump into our training. So I am including just a couple of guiding principles for us for our time together here. So my name is Charlene, and I am going to be your trainer for this training session today. So a couple of notes that I have included in our chat. If you take a look there, just a few points. Just note that you are going to stay muted for the entire training. We do have quite a bit of information to cover, and we want to make sure that we go over it in an efficient manner, and doing so requires that everyone remains muted. Now, if you do have questions, I will discuss that here in a few seconds. So this training is going to be about 2 hours long. Now, please, I know that y'all might have questions and whatnot, but we are going to have some activities during our time together where I will be asking you to raise your virtual hand. So what that means is please do not raise your virtual hand unless you are asked to do so. Now, for those of you whose names are not being shown on your screen, just go ahead and make sure that your name is showing on your screen, that it's not like iPhone or Galaxy. I don't even know what number they're on now, but just make sure that your display name is your actual first name, at least. You see, mine says Charlene, and it says Shift Smart Trainer. So if y'all can take care of that, that would be really great. Now, next, we have questions, right? Mention that we are not going to be raising our virtual hand during our time together unless we are prompted to. So what we are going to do instead is just drop our questions in the chat, and I will be answering those as we go along. And just remember that there are quite a few of us in this session. So we want to make sure that we are, again, using our time as efficiently as possible. So I probably don't have volume because you just got to make sure that the volume is on, but I'm not muted. So again, drop any questions in the chat if you have them. Now, in the chat, I am also going to provide you with the slides that we are going to be viewing today during our time together in the chat. So what would be extremely beneficial for you to do is for you to tap on that link that I just sent you. That link is the slides for today. Okay, now you'll tap that link and you'll just bookmark or save that link somewhere safe that you can go back to and refer back to at a later point in time. So if you are on an Apple device, then you will have to make Google Chrome your default browser in order to view those, but you do have to put those, make sure that you open those up in a Google Chrome browser. So just keep that in mind. All right, so y'all have all that information there that you need. We've got our guidelines, our guiding principles that we are going to be following during our time together. We've also dropped the slides for you guys in the chat. And remember that this slideshow is going to be extremely beneficial for you because you are going to be able to refer back to it. And then we've also got some links included in the slideshow, and you'll see them later on as we're going through our slide deck. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Charlene, and thank you for being here on a Friday afternoon. I know, for some people it's, Fridays you just kind of want to check out, but kudos to you guys for sticking with it and joining us today. So this is the Outbound Political Survey Calling Role. This is a remote call center training, and our client is vid1. So if that doesn't sound too familiar, it might be because you're in the wrong training, but you can always cross-reference that with your ShiftSmart app. And make sure, now that I've mentioned the ShiftSmart app, just make sure that you have checked into the ShiftSmart app. Okay, you want to go to your ShiftSmart app and just make sure that it says checked in, because we want to make sure that this time is not wasted, but that it is counted for your benefit. Now, again, this is for this outbound political survey calling role. It is a remote call center training that we are going to be working through today. Now, remember, I have included the slides in here for you, and you can refer to those. Honestly, my suggestion is that you just tap on that link, mark it, and then save it for a later date so that you can refer back to it later on. All right, now let's get to it. So you guys are ready to start earning. So just make sure that you've joined Zoom from a computer or a tablet. Reason being is because you are going to need your phone to take a quiz on the ShiftSmart app. So just keep that in mind. All right, so your path to earning as a remote political survey caller is this one. So we are well past that halfway mark. So kudos to you guys. We are at this virtual training. It's going to be less hours, and we will be completing a quiz on the ShiftSmart app. Yet again, another reminder to make sure that we have checked out of our ShiftSmart app. Now, after that, you will then choose your first paid shift, and then this is going to really be used as an audition to determine if you are going to be able to work more shifts with this particular role, with that political survey calling role. Now, don't worry, because we know that you guys are going to do fantastic, especially because you are going to be reading the scripts verbatim and dialing fast. And we'll flesh that out a little bit later on. You will, after that, choose your next shift and then start regular earning. Sound like a deal? I hope so. So just a couple of quick notes for you guys to keep in mind. As a political survey caller, this is a remote role. So you will make calls from your computer to an individual's home, could be a landline or a cell phone. And you are going to encourage them to conduct surveys during your shifts. You're going to follow a basic script that needs to be read verbatim to ask questions, to get answers, to guide the conversation. You're going to provide general information about the survey, and you're going to do many different surveys over your time with ShiftSmart. But in one shift, you really are only going to be doing one or two different surveys. Don't want you guys getting confused, right? So the calling software that you are going to be using houses the scripts that are going to be your guide to success. Now, you will receive multiple credentials and welcome emails. So if you do not receive them after 24 hours of this training, just go ahead and message our manager using the ShiftSmart app. Now, it is possible that these emails get sent to your junk mail, your spam mail. So just make sure that you check those before messaging your manager. Now, last note is that you will be using a global Protect VPN and the interviewer call software on your computer for this role. Now, you may not use your personal phone to make any calls. So before we get started, these are just a couple of terms that we use here at ShiftSmart and want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So you guys are our partners, and shifts, which are blocks of time where you will be scheduled to work, that you have the freedom to choose. And of course, the handy dandy, dynamic, fantastic ShiftSmart app is how you remain connected. And we also want you to know that we work for you, our partners, right? That vocab word that we just learned. So we are going to be learning quite a few things together, and these are the things that we're going to go over. So keep that in mind. And here are some of our goals for this training. We'll learn to use the ShiftSmart app. We'll learn the Dynata political survey position. We'll walk through using Interviewer and Global Protect VPN, learn to use other resources, and then at the very end of our time together, we will then complete a short mandatory quiz. And after we've successfully completed the quiz, we will, you guys will choose your first shift and start earning. So here is an introduction to this political survey caller role. Our client is Dynata. They help with research and marketing for their clients. Dynata's data set of more than 62 million consumers and business professionals, fully permissioned with billions of verified data points. This gives access to a wide variety of audiences. Dynata connects data with other sources, revealing the holistic picture of consumers, of customers, and markets. So, real people ready to share their attitudes, behaviors, and insights are really the cornerstone for precise and trustworthy, high-quality data. Now, this role in particular expects that while in a shift, you will be working from home. So this role uses specialized software to make calls to get those in the US opinion. You will be helping in this project by calling during your shifts to get the public's opinion about different topics outlined in the script embedded in the interview software. Now, earnings are $10 an hour, and that hourly pay rate is always going to be posted in the shift description on the app. You must be actively on the line and checked in on the app to record time to be paid. Now, here are some role requirements. We expect that you are 18 years or older to work this particular role, and that you are eligible to work in the US and that you're physically located in the US. This does not work outside of the US. That, of course, you've got access to an iPhone or Android phone, that you've got the ShiftSmart app installed, and we can actually just check off both of those last two because we have it, because we've checked into our shift today. That you have a laptop or desktop computer with Google Chrome. That you have a strong internet connection, preferably wired Ethernet connection, that you've got a wired USB headset, none of those 3.5 millimeter plugs, no Bluetooth or wireless headsets. I know Bluetooth is super cool, or wireless is so convenient, but we are asking that you use a wired USB headset. That is what is going to allow you to communicate better, effectively, and clearly, right? You must also have at least every 20 days to keep, or you must be working every 20 days to keep your credentials active for calling software. Now, you may not use a tablet, a cell phone, or your home phone to make any calls. Now, this is what we were talking about in that last screen, where you must have a computer for each shift that you work. It must have a standard USB port. Now, if you do not have a standard USB port, you must use a dongle. So this is required for newer Mac computers, and then the type and the cost really are left to your discretion, and they are your responsibility. So we see on the right hand side this dongle. It has a standard USB port. And then that 3.5 millimeter port is that red square right in the middle. So none of those like standard headphone connection ports. Now, some ShiftSmart partner basics are the following. So we do view our relationship with you as a partnership. So these are some of the things that you can expect from us. We have a Shift Smart app. This allows you to choose shifts, manage your own schedule, get paid, and chat with our team. You do have the flexibility to choose because you are a 1099 worker, and you have the freedom to work when you want, and shifts are released every morning. You will typically get paid within 24 hours of working a shift. So you can expect to receive payments almost as soon as possible. Now, we definitely have opportunities for growth. We often invite our top performing and reliable partners to new and higher paying roles. And of course, we have support for you where and when you need it. We have a really awesome self-serve help center. And guys, remember how I said that you have the slide deck for our time together? So anything that you see in bold and blue and underlined, those are links. So that means that you have access to all of these links. So you can visit that help center by just tapping on that link in the presentation. You can always contact support via our in-app messaging, and then we also have a phone number or email, and we're going to give you guys that information here in a little bit. Now, what we expect from you is that with great power, of course, comes great responsibility. So while you do have the freedom to choose, please do so considerably, right? So what that means is only pick up shifts that you know that you can work. Deliver on your commitment. So partners who cancel last minute, which means less than 24 hours, that cancel repeatedly, that are no-shows or leave shifts early, will be removed from our platform. We also expect that you do great work always. Your performance and reliability determine your ability to access future shifts and additional roles. We also hope that you would share your feedback with us. We love your ideas. So go ahead and send us your suggestions on the Shift Smart app. And of course, if you are enjoying the work that you're doing with Shift Smart, we hope that you would spread the word to your friends and family, and that you would keep in mind that with some roles, you do earn a bonus, a referral bonus for telling your friends and family. So super cool stuff. Now, these are some of the ways that you can set yourself up for success in working with Shift Smart. So you want to make sure that you have checked in for this training. If you don't check in, we're not going to know that you're here. And then at the very end of our time together, we are going to expect that you complete a quiz. And this quiz is mandatory so that you access shifts later on. Now, we later on expect that you check in and out of every shift using the Shift Smart app. This is how we make sure that you get paid. And of course, be reliable and professional, show up for scheduled shifts, and complete assigned duties. Again, this is how you can be even more successful. Be in a quiet work area, meaning reduce distractions, no music, no people talking, no pets, no TV, no other noises in your background. Be on time for your shifts. Make sure that your computer and systems are logged into before your shift starts. Log in on the global VPN and interviewer platforms, and then check in on the Shift Smart app. Make sure that you're also empathetic. Some people that you not be having the greatest day, so they might be upset, they might be overwhelmed, or just not understanding the questions. So try to be as empathetic as you possibly can during your shifts. And partners with fast dial rates and more survey completions may gain priority access to shifts. So the key here really is to always either be dialing or talking to someone. Now, let's talk about using the Shift Smart app. So we've got 3 screens here. First screen is our home screen. Now this shows available shifts and received messages here. So right after training, you will only see what is called as my first shift. So you'll just select one of those to audition, and remember your audition is paid for a few hours. And then our second picture here is that schedule screen. So there is where really your whole schedule is going to be of all the shifts that you have accepted or been placed into by management. And then that last screen is our messages screen. And this is where you will see any sort of inbound or outbound messages. Now, this is what it looks like to accept a shift on the ShiftSmart app. You find a shift that you like, you tap it, and this is what it looks like, right? You will be prompted to accept the shift and then confirm that you're accepting the shift. That third box, that third notification is always going to come up where it says that you're more than a mile away. Totally okay, just bypass that. And then you've accepted it, hit okay, and you are good to go. Now, there are 3 ways to go about getting shifts with our ShiftSmart app. Now, please remember that shifts are released in the morning around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just open your and then choose your my first shift, and then regular shifts following that. And that's, again, only after you've completed the quiz after this training. So first way of going about selecting a shift is the one that we just looked at, right? You go to your home tab, you check out a shift, you accept the shift, you confirm, bam, it's pretty straightforward. Second option is you will receive a text message with all the details for a shift. You will respond yes or accept, or if you are able to work that shift, or if you are unable to work that shift, you will hit and respond no or decline. And then lastly, which is not super common, is when it's assigned by a ShiftSmart manager. So they'll just take care of kind of the back end stuff for you. You will be able to see your shift added on your schedule tab. Now, this is, again, how we pick up and work shifts. So you'll choose your shift, you'll confirm your shift, and you want to make sure that you are confirming your shifts. Otherwise, if you have not confirmed your shift by 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, our team could cancel your shift, okay? So once you've confirmed your shift and you are ready to work, you will check in using that ShiftSmart app. It's possible that you will be prompted to take a picture of the work area. No problem, just take a picture of your laptop or your computer and you are good to go. Now, at the end of your shift, you will check out in the app as well and end your shift to ensure your hours are logged. And then last but certainly not least, you will get paid. So just remember that we typically process payments daily and you will receive payments within 24 business hours. So talk about breaks on the ShiftSmart app. This is kind of what this would look like. We start our shift in that first picture, right? Please make sure that you understand that break time is not paid. So if you don't have to take a break, but if you are leaving your computer or not taking calls for any reason, you must take a break. So you'll open up your ShiftSmart app. It will prompt you to take a break if you want. So go ahead and tap take a break. Okay, and then when you come back, check back in. Now, we see on the last picture that it says check out, and it will ask you to confirm that you're checking out, and you'll just check out. Good to go. Now, you must check in and out of the ShiftSmart app in addition to physically being at your computer, receiving calls, or doing other assigned tasks to be considered working a shift. So this includes you being logged into the interviewer software. You must complete a shift in its entirety to be paid for the shift. So the software that we use allows us to see your computer screen. There is a 0 tolerance for tardiness, not working while on the clock, or missing shifts. So doing all of those things will actually result in your removal. So bottom line, just make sure that you're doing what you got to be doing. Now, that software that we've been talking about is called the Interviewer. Now, let's talk about that. Guys, remember that you do have access to these links, all of this text that is in blue, bold, and underline are links. So You do have this slide deck available for you in the chat. Make sure that you have bookmarked this. Now, you have been emailed instructions and login credentials to the email that you provided in your ShiftSmart account profile. If you have previously used the interviewer with ShiftSmart, you will receive a credential login reminder after your first training. Please be sure to check your emails, spam, trash, junk, and promotions folder if you've not seen this email. All right, and again, these links are just setup and login process videos. So really a pro tip here is if you have received those credentials after this training, after this quiz, just make sure you log in real quick, log out to confirm that you can actually get in and out. But I'm talking like 1 second in, 1 second out. Now, that's mentioned here. So first-time users will need to install this software in Google Chrome browser. So you are going to have to clear your browsing data, meaning all cookies and all other site data and any sort of cached images and files. This is going to allow you to install this system with no issues. And this must be done as soon as possible. If you have never logged in before, but leave as soon as you are logged in and see that you have no assignment. So just what we said, you're going to log in real quick, make sure that it's all set up, get out. Okay, because otherwise you're gonna get phone calls and get assigned, and we don't want that, right? Because we're not working for free. So if you are login issues with the interviewer and Global Protect VPN, these are some of the this is a form, right, that we have. And I am going to again, remind you guys that you do have access to this link because we've included the slide deck in the chat for you. So you want to make sure that you are troubleshooting as much as you possibly can on your end before you actually fill out this form. Yes, thank you. Tracy is reminding us that we got to be asking questions for this particular presentation, right? So keep that in mind, guys. Now, if all else fails, and I mean, we are trying and resetting things and turning our computer on and off, but for some reason, this interviewer or this Global Protect VPN is just not allowing us to log in, you are going to fill out this Google form and just be sure that you're as detailed as possible. Okay, you're not going to cancel your shift if your credentials are not working. Just let management know on the ShiftSmart app. Now, password resetting for Dynata. So again, as we've said, before you fill out this form, just make sure that you're double checking everything that you possibly can to troubleshoot, making sure that your credentials actually need a reset. Just you'll use this tutorial to guide and troubleshoot that login process. Just keep in mind that the Dynata system usually takes about 3 to 4 failed login attempts before successfully logging in. Now, if the system does not let you log in right away, just try rebooting and try typing in your credentials a couple of times. Again, guys, you do have this link, so just tap that link for any sort of troubleshooting issues. Now, if you do decide to fill out this form without your credentials actually needing a reset, so this reset process can take up to 3 days for your credentials to be reset. That means that those 3 days, you're not going to be able to work, right? So we want to make sure that we're troubleshooting on our own as much as we possibly can before going in, filling out this form. And, you know, it's just kind of a hassle. And at the end of the day, y'all lose money. And we don't want for you guys to lose money on this. So this is what the interviewer homepage looks like. Now, when you log in, you are going to see this. This is okay. This is normal, okay? So this is what you'll see if you'll go to this, and I'm going to include this link in here just so that y'all have it on your here, right? So this is what you're going to see if you go here, right? So just before you select the shift. All right, so just remember that you have to be connected to that global VPN, Global Protect VPN, before going to this particular So you're going to see this screen once you enter that interviewer. Like I said, normal. Don't freak out. If it says you have no project assignment, please contact your supervisor. It's okay. You're going to alert us only if you're seeing this box after 10 minutes that you're logged into the shift. So just be patient. You will be assigned a project as you are getting in. Now, this is interviewer, right? This is after you have been given a project. So you are going to need to enter a code to get into the queue. It is going to be either cell or for cell phones or land for landlines. And then you'll queue and then ready at the top of the queue. So let's watch this little GIF, really, right? So they type in cell because it's a cell phone. They tap enter queue and then tap ready. Okay, pretty straightforward. Now, entering the queue for either cells or landlines, this really is the still picture of what we just saw. So once your project's assigned, you're going to go directly into the queue by typing land or cell in the box again, and then you're going to hit enter queue. Now, these are the options that you're going to see in the queue. And we have ready to begin dialing. You're going to